Hi guys, this is Jatin from Testing Gyan. So now that we know how can we launch the browser from our Selenium script, so in this video we are going to discuss that how Selenium actually identify the web elements on the web page. So if I take example of you and me, so how if there is a chair around us, how can we be surely say that this is chair or this is laptop? So based on some properties we judge that this thing is chair, that this thing is laptop. So on similar basis, Selenium also judge on some properties that what this web element is, whether it is edit box, whether it is checkbox, or whether it is radio button. So we are going to see in this video that what all those properties are. So let's start.
Hi guys, so we are back in Eclipse. Now we know that how to create Maven project, how much beneficial it is to create Maven project over Java project, how we can add dependencies in pom.xml, how we can use this WebDriver manager, how we can launch the browser in via our Selenium script. So let's see what other important points we need to learn, to write our robust Selenium script. So let me run this program. So now we know that that our Selenium script is launching the browser, but to perform some action on that web page, we should know that what all elements are present on that web page, how we can locate those elements. So in this video, we are going to see that how you can locate or what all located techniques available in Selenium. So let's see. So let's see what all located techniques are available in Selenium. So guys, here I have mentioned every technique through which you can locate the element. So you can locate the element by ID, you can locate the element by its tag name, you can locate the element by its class name, you can locate the element by XPath, you can locate the element by link text or partial link text both, you can locate the element by CSS selector, and you can locate the element by name as well. So we'll see each one of them, don't worry. So let me open a web page so that I can show you and you can relate, okay, what I meant by name, what I meant by ID, what I meant by tag name. So let me go to google.com. So guys, here I am on google.com. As you can see, there are multiple web elements present on this web page. So to check the properties or to check the DOM structure of a particular element, what we'll do, we'll right click on that element and we'll click on inspect. So as you can see, it has, if I hover over here, it is highlighting the element corresponding to particular line which I am on. So you can see there are various things defined over here for this. You can see class name over here, you can see maximum length, you can see name, you can see type, and many others are there. So as we know that name is one of our locator techniques, we can locate the element with the help of name. So let me go back to my Eclipse and let me, so here you can see it is name of this search box is Q. Let me copy this, and now I want, after going to this, I want to go to that search box and I want to type something. So for that we'll use this find element because we want to find that particular element, and from which technique we want to find it, we want to find it via name. So by dot name, and in this we'll pass that string. So again I'll show you. So that string is Q. So that's what I have written over here, and now I want to send some text in that, so I'll use the send keys, and for now let me pass ABC. So let's see now what happens if I run this. Let me close the previous browser. So as you can see over here, it is finding that element and it is sending the text which we have passed in our script. So guys, I hope now it is clear that how you can locate the element by name. Let's see another technique. Let me go back in here, and so if you see, if I inspect it again, let me remove this and let me inspect it again. So if you see, there is name over there, but ID is not there. So let's check some website in which a web element with ID is present so that I can use ID to locate the element and show you guys. So I have a website opened over here. So if you see, if I inspect over here, so here you can see this ID is column A. Firstly, let me copy this URL and paste it in my Eclipse. And now what I want to do, I just want to click on the driver dot. Firstly, I'll get the element, find the element. By dot, I'll use ID this time. So here you have to pass the ID. So for that, I'll copy it. I'll paste it over here. And I just want to click over that. That is good. So let me close this and let me run this. So as you can see, now it has launched the website which I have mentioned in Eclipse, and it will click on this A and it will stop. Since nothing is happening by clicking on A, hence it has just clicked, and we can verify it by checking whether we got any error or not. So as you can see, we haven't got any error. So guys, I hope that name as well as ID is clear now. So there can be some chances, or there can be some cases wherein this name or ID or other locators techniques such as class name is not there directly in the web element. So in that cases, what we'll use, we'll use either XPath or CSS. So we are going to learn each and everything about XPath and CSS in our next video. I'll show you that what tag name or what class name is. So as you can see over here, if I locate this element, so here you can see this class as column. So you can use this column also to locate this element. Since both the class name for A as well as for B is column, hence it will not be a unique locator. So wherever you find a class name as your unique locator, you can use your class name. Otherwise, go with name or ID or whatever unique locator you found. And if I talk about tag name, then tag name is this div. For this, the tag name is div. Again, this is not the only tag name which is there associated with the element. It is associated with multiple elements, so we cannot use this as well. I hope guys this is clear now. And in the end, let's see that how the text thing work. So let me go back to google.com. So let's see. Okay, there's something happening if I click on the sign in. Yes, there's something happening. So let's see. Let's locate the sign in with the help of associated text, that is sign in. So we are back in google.com. Okay, I'll comment it, and now driver dot find element by dot link text, and that link text is sign in, and I want to click on this. So that's all. Let me run this and verify whether it is clicking on sign in button or not. So guys, as you can see over here, it launched the google.com and it clicked on that sign in button. So that's how you can use the link text locator technique. There is one more technique if you don't want to pass the complete text, or if let's say sometimes on the web element your text is written as sign. I'm just taking random example 1 2 3, or this is fixed, or and this is dynamic or changing. In next time when you launch, it is appearing something like this or this. Then in that case you can use partial link text. So I'll use that as well. So driver dot find element by dot partial link text, and here I'll just pass sign. I have to close this. And let me comment the above one. And let's see whether this time it is clicking on it or not. So as you can see over here, even if I pass the partial text, it is clicking on it. So guys, I hope that most of locator technique is clear with you. In next video, we are going to see about XPath, XPath access, everything basically about XPath. If you still have any doubt about any locator technique, you can mention in comment section. I'll try my best to resolve all of them.